children.
Hi,
How are you this afternoon?
I'm good.
I have here a story about Rapunzel, authored by Alvin Del Prado. So let's start. Once upon a time, there was an old woman who owned a garden of turnips that was in the way of her neighbors. No one dared to go inside the garden because a high fence surrounded it. Aside from that, they were afraid of the old woman whom they found out was a witch. A childless couple lived near the witch garden. The witch became pregnant after a long, long wait. The wife wanted so much to eat the turnips in the witch garden. One night, the witch found out that the man was stealing some of turnips. "What do you think you're doing?" she asked. "You are stealing my turnips." "I am very sorry," the man said in trembling voice. "But my wife believed she could die if she could not eat them." The witch thought for a while. Then she said, "I will give you as much turnip as you want. In return, you must give me a child your wife will bear." The man was so scared, he readily said yes. When he told the whole story to his wife, he was so frightened. After a few months, a baby was born. The witch came to take the baby. The couple pleased, but the witch would not listen to them. The witch took the baby. She named her Rapunzel. "From now on, I will be your mother," she whispered the baby. The witch brought Rapunzel in the middle of the forest. She locked her up in the tower that had no door and no stair. Rapunzel grew up with a wonderful long hair. It was a gold as sun. She let her drop here to the ground when she heard the witch says, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." One time, the king's son went hunting. He was lost in the forest, had passed nearby the tower. The prince heard Rapunzel singing, and he immediately fell in love with her sweet voice. He searched where the voice came from and saw the tower. The prince looked for a door leading into the tower, but he could not find any. Since then, the prince returned to the forest to listen to Rapunzel's song. One morning, the witch came. The prince hid a tree and watched. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," the witch said. That night, the prince decided to try his luck. After he said the words he heard from the witch, Rapunzel's hair fell down. The prince climbed up at once. Rapunzel frightened when he saw the prince. "Do not be afraid. I just want us to be friends," he said in a gentle voice. Since then, the prince would visit Rapunzel. They would talk and laugh and share stories until she silently fell in love with him. So when he asked, "Will you be my wife?" Rapunzel gladly said, "Yes, I will dare my I will I will, my dear prince." The prince had not yet figured out how to take Rapunzel from the tower when the witch learned they were seeing each other. The witch was so angry. Rapunzel felt she would eat her. "You ungrateful! You betray me," said the witch. As a punishment, the witch cut Rapunzel's hair and took her to a far away place. "Don't leave me," Rapunzel pleaded, but the witch did not mind her pleas. All Rapunzel could do was cry. That night, The prince came back. He called Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. The witch, who really waited for him, fastened Rapunzel's hair to the window and let it fall to the ground. The prince was so surprised when he saw the witch. Where is Rapunzel? He asked. She's gone. You will never see her again, the witch said, laughed deviously. Before the prince could ask another question, the witch pushed him. The young man fell badly and broke his left leg. The prince thought he was going to die. He could not move his broken leg. The pain was so unbearable he fainted. The king had been told the prince was missing. He instructed his men to look for his son. The king's men found the prince. They brought him back to the palace. The palace doctor treated his broken leg, and soon enough he was back to his old self. The king forbade the prince to get out of the palace, but he ignored his father's order. One early morning, he crept out of the palace to look for Rapunzel. Mounted on his horse, the prince began to search far and wide. He would only stop when he was so tired to continue, until one day he came to an isolated place. The prince heard the voice that was so familiar. It made his heart beat faster. Rapunzel! He called as he rushed toward the voice. My dear prince, Rapunzel exclaimed, and he saw the prince. She was crying with joy when she noticed that he was limping. The prince told him that he was limping. The prince told him what had happened. Rapunzel hugged him tightly and wept. I will bring you to my father's kingdom, the prince said, and you will be my wife. The whole kingdom rejoiced when the prince came back with Rapunzel. The two got married and they lived happily ever after. So, the end. Do you like the story, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So, let's clap our hand.